When I put all of these together, I kind of think about these big implications that come out of this, right? One is stakeholder expectations. So senior leadership, the board, investors, etc. Their expectations on organizations, an organization's ability to provide, to have strong governance structures in place are evolving. That's translating down into evolving expectations specifically on internal audit functions, right? Again, it goes back to the coordination of assurance activities that I was talking about earlier, integrated assurance. It goes back to internal audit functions that are moving to provide more insights and advice in the work that they do, right? Assurance activities remain critical, but how can we also provide more insights and advice in the work that we do, right? So those stakeholder expectations are changing. We also see with that, and this also relates to the third one here, the evolving operating models. We're seeing more and more internal audit functions that have responsibility for other activities. So for example, in some research that we just did with the IA's Research Foundation and Baker Tilly, we found that over 30% of chief audit executives have some responsibility in the ERM space. So there's evolving expectations from that perspective, which is also impacting the operating models in terms of how internal audit functions operate, right? So that's a big piece of it. And in the middle here, we have what I call disrupted audit plans, right? We have these changing risks, we have these evolving stakeholder expectations. How are our audit plans reacting to that, right? We can't continue with the 5-year plan or even the 1-year plan. I always go back to one of my least favorite performance metrics for internal audit is the completion of the audit plan. Because the risk that you have, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but I'm saying the risk that it creates is that you focus on getting done what's on the plan rather than reacting to the current situation within your organization and changing that plan to adapt to that situation, right? So if you have that ability to be flexible with your plan and move things around within your plan and bring in new audits, et cetera, or focus on a different area, that's fantastic. But what I still see is a lot of audit functions that are stuck to the plan that they put out there in front of the audit committee or the board, and are measuring how much they stick to that plan. That's a big risk, right? So we need to disrupt that, and we need to think differently about our audit plan. So with all these factors that are out there, and to adapt to these situations, like we need the right skill sets on our team. So I throw all this foundational knowledge out there because it's about understanding like the evolving nature of internal audit, that we can't rely upon the same skills that we've always had. And we need to take the time to recognize where we have these skills on our teams and where we don't. And how do we purposefully create systems that help us to build the skill sets that we need to carry out our mission from an internal audit